1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll.
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing right there on that intro, man. And if you want that intro song, it's now available on a 10-song EP on digital download. So all you got to do is hit me up on my Instagram, 16DALIFE, or you can hit me up on my email, 16lifemusic@gmail.com. All that information is in my description. Cash App me $20, or you can use $20 by Zelle. Send me your email, and I will send you the digital download ASAP. Or, of course, if you prefer, you still can get it on CD. Now, let's hop right up in today's video, man. So, I often hear that doing time while you're black is very easy in the California prison system, or people will actually ask me that, right? And I beg to differ, and not because I'm black, but once I point out some examples, I'll let you make your own opinion. People will often like to compare the politics of one race against the politics of another. And of course, each race's politics is different and different things go on, right? But now, let me start with the county jail, right? When you hit the county jail, you know, when you're black in California, and especially if you gang bang, there's definitely going to be fades coming, you know, regardless of what county you in, where you at. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have some enemies up in there, and you guys going to have to get that fade out the way. Or you guys, of course, I'm sure if you keep up with this type of content and genre, this prison genre, you guys may be familiar with the dude 4 Extra. 4 Extra talks about going to the LA County Jail, catching 10 fades back to back. And I've never seen a dude catch 10 fades, but I've definitely seen dudes catch 4 or 5 fades. Sometimes it's like that. And so why I say that the politics of the blacks are definitely not easy, because other races, their politics are that when they come to prison, they come to jail, they all become one unit. And so all that inner dissension, that inner turmoil, and that inner beef, it stops right there, all the street beef, because they then align themselves as one unit, and now it's a race thing. But when you're doing time as a black, especially like I said, a Crip or a Blood, that's not happening, especially in the county jail. So while all these problems may be self-induced, I mean, because if the blacks were more organized, we wouldn't necessarily have to go through these type of things. But due to the fact that the problems are self-induced, nevertheless, does not negate the fact that we still have to experience that if you're black and you're a Crip or a Blood, right? And so I told you guys about when I got to the county jail. Once I finally got processed and sent to a cell, before I went, the dude in the where they assign you the cells at or whatever, he said, hey, man, you know, do you want to go to an all-black tank or you want to go to a mixed tank? I told him I want to go to an all-black tank. And, you know, he said, okay, because like I said, back then, I'm not, you know, telling the police my affiliation, none of that stuff. I'm just telling him, hey, man, I'm a non-affiliate. But he said, well, the all-black tank is a Crip tank. I said, yeah, I think I'll be all right up in there. He said, yeah, man, it's a lightweight tank. You'll be all right. I'm not in the, so once I get up there and walk through the door, man, I'm not in the tank 3-4 minutes and boop, bop, boop, beep, beep, bop, boop, bop, boop. Dudes is squabbing over there on the phone, you know, or by the phone. I'm on the phone and it's in a corner. I'm trying to use the phone. And so I had to get off the phone. And from the second that I stayed in there, I was only in there initially 2 or 3 days, right? But from the second I was in the tank, man, there had to be 7 or 8 fights, right? 7 or 8 fights. And like I said, this was an all Crip tank. But you had different hoods beefing. Sometimes you have dudes just in there miserable to keep it 100, and especially back then, in the early 90s, because I got locked up in 94 in the county jail, dudes is gang banging. A dude to hit you up, like, hey, man, what's up? Where you from? And then you tell him where you from. But his whole tone is confrontational. And so even if your hood and his particular hood doesn't have a beef, you might say, you tell him where you from. Hey, yeah, homie, I'm from whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Then he'll say his hood again. I'm from whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And now it's back and forth. And now you realize that, okay, this dude wants a problem. And it goes there, right? I told you guys about, okay, so I'm in the tank maybe about 2 days. I'm on the phone. The dude come ask me. He said, hey, man, how long you going to be on the phone? I said, I'm going to be on in a minute, Loke. He said, oh, man, you don't know me good enough to call me Loke. Now, Loke, for those of you guys who don't know, is a word that's commonly used among Crips. Just like cuz, a Crip will refer to another Crip as Loke. What's up, Loke? So by him saying, you don't know me well enough to call me Loke, I immediately said, okay, this dude want a problem. You know what I'm saying? He's in a Crip tank. He's a Crip. He tripping on me, calling him Loke. He automatically wants a problem. So I called him out for the fade. We went down there. As we fighting, I knock him out. Bam! Knock him out. I hop on him. A dude who was, I believe, claimed he was his nephew, or he may have not actually been related, but he claimed he was. He ran in there. He had some type of cutting instrument in his jumpsuit. Now, I've already took my jumpsuit off because I'm fighting this dude. And so he ends up cutting me on the back and stuff like that, And then I told you guys about how I left. They sent me to another jail, another part of the jail, another unit. I'm in there making up my bed. A dude come hit me up, ask me where I'm from. I tell him, he said, never heard of it. Doop, bop, poop, bop. I'm squabbing again. So all these things is not going to occur with other races because they're one unit. So they're no longer tripping on each other. So when people of other races and all races, right? When you have one of the new dudes coming into the tank or to the unit, they go welcome him as opposed to hit him up and be confrontational, and these type of things won't ensue. I also told you guys about the fight that I got into with the dude who always came and was asking me to use the phone because in that county, in that particular county jail, you had individuals, right, who had phone times. They had phone slots. So this dude might have the phone from 12 to 1. Somebody else got it from 1 to 2, so on and so forth, all through the day. So if you don't have any homies in there, you may not get a phone call. Right now, looking back on that, of course, that was extremely unfair, right? To keep it 100. It didn't bother me because I had a phone time due to two older dudes who I was cool with who happened to run the tank. One being my homie Popeye, another being the homie Dan Tanner. Now, had I not known those dudes and I knew Dan Tanner he was good friends with Popeye. They had done time together. Had I not known Popeye, which led to my association with Dan Tanner, there's no question I wouldn't have had a phone time. I'm only 22, 23 years old, 140 pounds. But, since I was not excluded and I was benefiting by the phone time, I didn't see the unfairness. Anyway, this one particular dude, he does not have a phone time. I'm letting him use my phone, my phone slot, especially in the afternoon when I'm doing other things and not using it. So I'm gambling. I lose. I need some more money. So I go to ask him. He happened to be on the phone. I say, hey, homie, let me use that phone just like 2 minutes. I just need to make a quick call and have my people bring some money over here. He was unwilling to do that, right? Due to the fact that I had been letting him use my phone time when he didn't have a call. I got angry, right? Called him out for the fade. Boop, bop, boop, beep, boop, bop, bop. We go in there. We go to squabbing, right? So I'm saying that all those things would not occur with other races because they're one unit, Other races are not going to, do things that are, let's say, selfish and basically only benefit themselves by saying, okay, look, I got the phone time from this time to this time. I got the phone time from this time to this time. So only a select few are using the phone. Their going to make it equal. They're going to make it fair where everybody gets a equal amount of time on that phone and everybody can use the phone and call their family because, of course, when you're locked up, whether it's jail or prison, everybody wants to be able to contact their family, talk to their family, so on and so forth, right? So a lot of these problems, when you're functioning as a Crip or a Blood or even just Black, period, are definitely self-induced, right? We create a lot of these problems because we're unorganized, right? Nevertheless, if you're Black and you're a Crip or a Blood, you still have to go through those problems regardless of where they come from. So it's definitely not easy, right? Being in jail, being in prison, fighting all the time, right? That's definitely not easy. I don't know if anybody has ever been locked up out there, man, but a fight in a cell is extremely rough and dangerous. And a lot of times, even if they're in a day room setting, and there's cells in that day room, they'll go to the cells and fights. That's the best way to be out of the view of the COs, the guards, or whoever, right? And so now, once again, get into prison. Once you get to prison, all the Blacks are still not unified like the other races under one structure, depending on where you come from, right? So once again, now you're pretty much going through the same thing, but now on a bigger or larger scale because you have more individuals there, right? So even if you function with a particular car, right, at times there are inner car turmoil going on, beefs, discussion, things that you may have to handle. You know what I'm saying? So you got that issue going on, not counting even the issue of also dealing with all the other races, structures, cars, so on and so forth. But once again, like I said, by you being Black in prison, there are many, many different cars that function within prison, right? So, and then sometimes depending on how big your car is, your car could have anywhere from 3 people in it to 15, 16, 20, 25, 30 people sometimes. So when you're functioning with a car, right, you are pretty much responsible for everybody within that car. And what I mean is, if a member of your car happens to get into it with somebody else and it turns violent, then you have to go show up. You know what I'm saying? So there have actually been times, right, where I have been on the yard. You may see one dude talking to another dude from another car, 2 Black dudes, right? Now, these dudes are cool and got a good relationship and a good rapport. A fight breaks out across the yard between 2 other dudes. Just so happens, it happens to be the dudes who are fighting happen to be from the same car as the 2 dudes who are talking. So as these dudes are talking, one dude may look up across the yard and see his homeboy who he recognizes fighting another dude who just so happens to be from the same car of the dude that he's talking to. And immediately, one of those dudes will take off on the other. Now, just a few seconds ago, these dudes were sitting back. These dudes was having a nice, cool, calm, collected conversation, right? But due to the fact that their homeboys are into it, now these dudes are fighting, right? And neither one of them knows what's going on. Let's just say the dude who takes off on the other dude after he sees his homie fighting, his homie may have been 100% in the wrong, right? But he doesn't know that. And at the time he sees dudes fighting. So some people feel, hey, man, I got to get you since our homies are over there fighting. I have actually seen stuff like that happen. Say, for instance, you may have a homie that's in the kitchen, right? He works in the kitchen. He happens to get into it with another Black, whether Crip or Blood, from a whole different car, right? One of the dudes gets beat up. Maybe, let's just say one of the dudes outweighed one of the other dudes by 40, 50 pounds or whatever. So now you have dudes feeling, okay, well, you know what, man? My homie was too small for your homie, And so now you got dudes arguing back and forth or whatever. And then so, those dudes would be like, you know what? Okay, well, let's just line it up then. Let's line it up. Basically, what they meaning is, you go get the homies from your car. I go get my homies from my car. And we maybe get in the kitchen or get somewhere. And we'll basically line it up. Basically, okay, we'll say these 2 dudes are the same size. Those 2 dudes are the same size. And you may have 10 or, you may have 10. You may have 5, 6 different fades, dudes from different respective cars fighting each other behind 2 of their homies who got into it over some bull stuff. It's all types of stuff like that going on, man. Anybody that's ever done any considerable amount of time as a Black dude in a California prison will tell you, man, it's always something going on. It's always something going on, as opposed to other factions. A lot of times when they deal with things, it has been given the okay. It's been given the okay, and It's something that needs to be handled, as opposed to with the blacks. A lot of times you have spontaneous stuff just break out, right? Break out, and it is what it is, right? And so I remember a lot of times, like doing time, you may have a fight break out between a couple of blacks, and we might be locked down for a week or 2 weeks. Then we come off lockdown, everything is back to normal program. You may have somebody from another race stab somebody from that same race. They stay on lockdown 3 days, and then they come right off. And then of course, you would have a lot of blacks grumbling like, man, that's messed up, man. Damn, we get into a little fist fight. They lock us down 2 weeks. They get into it, man. They stab somebody, and they off in 3 days. And to me, honestly, at the time, it did seem a bit unfair, right? But now, as I'm looking back on the situation, I can understand why the administration would do things like that. People fail to realize that the administration, the California administration of the prisons, they have been doing time as long as the California convicts have been doing time. And so they are quite familiar with the workings of prison and the way things go. And so the reason a lot of times they would leave the blacks locked down longer over what seemed like a much minute situation, a much less minute situation, is due to the different cars among the blacks. When something happened among another race, they knew, okay, well, this was a situation that just needed to be happened. Somebody gave the word, it happened. Now the problem is resolved. But with the blacks, they didn't know if the problem was over because it was so many different cars. It's so many different entities among the blacks. Even with the Crips, you may have 6 or 7 different cars who just function as Crips, right? So, and then there is no one set way that things go. Another thing I've seen a lot of times, the yard might be peaceful for that particular day, right? Somebody comes from another prison. He happens to spot somebody that he's got into it with at another prison. And now, a situation is flaring, things is going on. People is grouped up, fist to kick off a situation behind something that happened 2 years ago. And once again, like I said, that would not happen with other races because they all function as one. And then when something happens, it has been deemed necessary. With the blacks, you may have certain things going on at one prison, and then you get to another prison and things are totally different because of the person who has the voice of that particular car at that particular prison. There are no set in stone guidelines or procedures that govern all blacks. So like I said, man, at one prison, the dude who speaks for this particular car, he may think one certain way, right? I mean, because there are things that are pretty much unwritten rules, but one dude, he may perceive a certain thing one way. You get to another prison in the same car, and a dude who has the voice or who has an opinion that is highly favored in that car, he thinks slightly different. So it's always a lot of turmoil, man, going on when you're doing time as a black. You'll often go to the hole. You are more likely as a black to go to the hole behind something dealing with your own people, as opposed to getting into it with someone outside of your race. With these other races, sometimes all they really have to do is stay out of the way and function within the rules of their car, right? Now, of course, there are things that's always going to be self-induced in all races and all cars. Stealing, maybe not showering, maybe doing certain things, create certain things that create a problem for your whole entire car. But like I said, man, doing time as a black, there are just many, many, many things on a daily basis that can pose a problem with you. One of your homeboys get into it with somebody from another car, and you out there fighting, stabbing, whatever. So anyway, man, you already know what time it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.
These niggas ain't who they say they is, so beware. Fuck what they sayin', cause these cowards ain't playin' fair. They shoot at you shoot at them, they snitch, and they don't care. Fuck gang bangin', I'd rather be a square. These niggas ain't who they say they is, so beware. Fuck what they sayin', cause these cowards ain't playin' fair. They shoot at you shoot at them, they snitch, and they don't care. Fuck gang banging, I'd rather be a square. Yeah.
I swear to God, the game is cold,
What
homie.
you mean?
I popped on a pussy ass nigga after he stole on me.
What happened next?
That nigga came to court and told on me.
Put that on something.
I sold my soul, homie. Called the highway patrol on me, plus the sheriffs and cops. He told him my name was Eric and I carried a Glock. Soon as you start blowing shots, them niggas going to tail. Don't have a meeting with the cops and then you going to jail. They'll tell him about the shooting, take him, show him his well. DA trying to see your cash, they gon' throw him the nails. They wanna throw me up in the cell and have me with a L again. Back to strip searchers and guards, read my mail again. Had me far away in the bay, I'm talking Pelican. Eating cold ass soy burgers and warm gelatin. I'm far too intelligent to fall for that twice. Niggas yelling gang gang and ain't about that life. And they'll turn rat right in front of your face. Get you found guilty plus 100 years on the case. Your mama in the court with tears running all on her face. Her baby shackled feet, hands and waist.
Goddamn.
These niggas ain't who they say they is, so beware. Fuck what they sayin', cause these cowards ain't playing fair. They shoot at you shoot at them, they snitch, and they don't care. Fuck gang banging, I'd rather be a square. These niggas ain't who they say they is, so beware. Fuck what they sayin', cause these cowards ain't playing fair. They shoot at you shoot at them, they snitch, and they don't care. Fuck gang banging, I'd rather be a square. Yeah.
Doing life's no joke, I been where the apes been. You ain't really bout that smoke, you a vape pen. Soon as they catch a joke, in the feds on a state pen. That tough guy shit get shed quick like snake skin. Real and fake men can't exist together. I stay down, you turn snitch, so you a bitch forever. Imagine me snitch never, boy, I stuck to the code. You hit the county for a month, you said fucking and told. Soon as you heard your bitch Nicole was fucking all of your best friend. The news damn near killed you, nigga, caved your chest in. You told about the murders that y'all did on the West End. Who was popping the burners and the one who said lesbian. Cooperated then, signed an affidavit. Felt your life was over, nigga, you was trying to save it. So you told on Antoine, LeBron, Marcus, and David. Came home and half your hood forgave it. Goddamn.
These niggas ain't who they say they is, so beware. Fuck what they sayin', cause these cowards ain't playing fair. They shoot at you shoot at them, they snitch, and they don't care. Fuck gang banging, I'd rather be a square. These niggas ain't who they say they is, so beware. Fuck what they sayin', cause these cowards ain't playing fair. They shoot at you shoot at them, they snitch, and they don't care. Fuck gang banging, I'd rather be a square. Yeah.
Thank you.